or 2 weeks before they come out, and then it kind of dies off once. It's not been like that with Gravity. I've seen a lot of stuff about Gravity, and I'm sure that's really helping, push it. Plus, Gravity is the kind of movie that, maybe, I don't know, people that aren't looking for a violent, realistic, violent type movie.
Sure, yeah, it's a different crowd.
Yeah, I mean, Captain Phillips, I'm sure is a fine movie. I definitely want to see it, and I've heard really good things about it. But it's not necessarily everybody's movie. I mean, not everybody wants to see... It's
not a popcorn movie. It's kind of a, sit down, I want to watch a good movie.
Right. And Gravity kind of maybe is a little bit of both. I mean, Gravity, it's a pretty accessible pop type movie, but it's also got some little bit, like we did our review last week about it. It's got some deeper elements.
Episode 3, 10. Episode 3... sub episode 10 or
actually if you go to their website, we're going to put a formula up there. So so you can find your favorite episode.
Just follow the grid and it'll lead you to what episode that you need to go to. But we were fairly critical of Gravity, and I think that's warranted. Now, would I recommend to see that movie? I think we both agreed that we would. So it's no big surprise that it would have a lot of good. I mean,
the short version of our review was, it's not going to change your life,
right?
But it's pretty good, especially in the theater. Outside the theater, it might be a little bit simplistic, but in the theater, it is an entertaining movie.
And that's probably the general gist of what people are saying.
Right.
You got to see it in a theater.
Right. So that's going to push the box office a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. Machete Kills. Hey, if you want to see a complete and utter farce that's got, maybe 15 minutes of entertaining stuff kind of mixed in here and there, hey, it might be the movie for you, but you're not going to miss anything by seeing it, on video release or video on demand or whatever. It's not going to be something you need to see in the theater to be worthwhile, because honestly, don't pay full money to see this thing.
Right. So I think this is a good time to say maybe do some recommendations on what people might want to see next week, going into some trailer trash.
Do some trailer trash.
In a world where trailers are sometimes better than the movie itself, two renegade loose cannon reviewers dig deep into their knowledge to save the world. Review trailers. This is Trailer Trash.
All right, first up on the list, we have the movie Carrie.
Carrie. 17 years ago, Carrie White's mother, Margaret White, gave birth to her daughter under circumstances which can only be termed bizarre. A reimagining of the classic horror tale about Carrie White, played by Chloe Grace Moretz, a shy girl outcast by her peers and sheltered by her deeply religious mother, played by Julianne Moore, who unleashes telekinetic terror on her small town after being pushed too far at her senior prom. This is a horror remake adaptation.
Yeah, you might have seen the original with Sissy Spacek.
Yes, that's a kind of that's classic. It's one of the early Stephen King novels and movie reproductions.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it's a really good one.
I mean, the trailer looks good, and, it's got my girl Clo-Clo in it. I call her Clo-Clo. We're close. Clo-Clo and I are close. And I'm a big fan of hers, and the trailer looks like it's a nice remake. It's I'm sure the graphics and the graphics, it's a game. The CGI in it, I'm sure is good. I'm sure all the effects are outstanding. Maybe even more realistic pig blood.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the original came out in 1976, the Brian De Palma film, right? So, we had 37 years since that first one came out. So, I think I'm not usually a big proponent of remaking other movies, but this is based on a novel, and I don't really have a problem with like each generation doing an updated version of a novel that may span some time. I mean, I think Carrie is a novel that a lot of people still read. It was a Stephen King classic, a huge seller at the time. One of the books that kind of put him on the map, along with books like The Shining.
Right.
And so I don't have a problem with this remake. I think it'd be interesting, and I'll probably check it out at some point.
Have you seen the viral video that kind of that they used to go along with this movie by chance? Basically, it's a girl that's in a coffee shop, and a film crew basically goes in and an effects crew goes in and they set up this coffee shop and rig the books and the pictures on the wall and actually have a wire attached to this guy. And so they play this prank on everybody that walks into the store. This guy knocks over his coffee onto this girl's laptop, and she freaks out and throws him up against the wall with supposedly her mind. And then she screams, and all the books fly off the wall. And the reactions are pretty good. I got to say, everybody's freaking out. Some people are pulling out their cameras, of course, which most people would do these days. Some people run out. Some people are just like, oh, shit, It's a good reaction. It's a great viral video. It's kind of, if you haven't seen it, I'll post a link maybe up on DTMMB Media.com with this what is this? What are we doing? We're just bullshitting, right? Yeah. With this podcast.
Oh, we're not recording this, are we?
Maybe I should start. Well, luckily I accidentally bumped record earlier, so we're good.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, again, that actually sounds pretty cool. But as far as the movie Carrie, I think it's going to be good. I think we both would probably say this was probably worth checking out.
Well, it's around Halloween too, of course. Everybody likes a good scare movie.
That might be a good scare movie to check out. On your Halloween date. Directed by Kimberly Pierce, like we said, stars Chloe Moretz, Julianne Moore, also Gabriella Wilde, Judy Greer, love Judy Greer, Archer, gotta love Judy Greer, and Portia Doubleday.
Sounds good to me.
So, what we got next?
12 Years a Slave. The storyline is in pre-Civil War era United States, Solomon Northup. Oh God, here comes this name. Can you say this name?
You just got tripped up on Solomon Northup. Not the name of the actor, which is mostly vowels.
I'm saying Chiwetel Man, I'm not good with these names, man. You got it? You got this one?
Ejiofor?
I'm gonna go with that. He was it's the guy in the movie Red Belt, if you've seen that. What else?
He's also in 2012 with John Cusack.
Okay, yeah. He's the guy from 2012 and Red Belt, so I'm not going to even say his name. Well, he's what a disservice to this fine actor.
Yeah, he may very well get an Oscar nomination for this film, but we're just going to refer to him as, the guy if you saw him.
Chi-Chi. His name is Chi-Chi because it starts with C-H-I, so he's Chi-Chi Edgy. He's a free black man from upstate New York, and he's abducted and sold into slavery, facing cruelty personified by a malevolent slave owner portrayed by Michael Fassbender.
Who's in just about every movie.
Every movie these days. As well as unexpected kindness. Solomon struggles not only to stay alive, but to retain his dignity. In the 12th year of his unforgettable odyssey, Solomon's chance meeting with the Canadian abolitionist, Brad Pitt, will forever alter his life. I don't know, it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will probably, it's kind of a, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure it's not a TV miniseries or a very long novel, but it's kind of an updated take on Roots, maybe, or something. And it kind of talks about you get a little bit of from the trailer, it looks like you get a little bit of insight into the horrific conditions of being a slave and
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it.
Yes.
As well, I just saw that.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, one of my favorites, but also one of your favorites, Paul Dano, is in it.
Oh, I wonder what kind of character he plays.
Probably a creepy dude.
I guess some creepy dude.
Taran Killam from Saturday Night Live is listed on the cast here, too. So that's
comic relief in a slave movie?
He might be playing John Boehner. I'm not sure. And it was directed by Steve McQueen, which, honestly, I didn't realize Steve McQueen was still doing movies, considering he's been, dead for a while. But
By a Bullet, I believe. Oh, wait. Sorry, that was a bad joke.
He may have made a great escape from death just to direct this movie.
Keep talking.
But yeah, it looks like one of those movies. It's getting at that time where we get award nominated movies showing up, and this is going to be one of them, along with things like Prisoners and Gravity and Captain Phillips. I think this falls right into that type of movie. It looks pretty intense. Definitely a movie I'm interested in seeing. So, if you're looking for something a little bit, kind of a little heavier fare for the weekend
right.
Box office, check out 12 Years a Slave.
I mean, this has kind of been on my radar for a long time. It's got all the right actors in it. It's definitely...
Well, you're a big fan of the main character. What was his name again?
Chi-Chi LG.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I like him. I love him a lot. Personal friend of mine, Chi-Chi. And I go way back. Coming up next, we have a little-known movie that's coming out. It's probably limited release. You might catch it in a smaller theater. It's called Big Ass Spider, believe it or not. And that's Big Ass Spider with an exclamation mark.
Big Ass Spider, believe it or not?
Well, subtitle, Mega Spider. I believe that's probably the Japanese release.
Oh, okay.
You want to go over the storyline?
Sure. The unlikely heroic duo of blue-collar exterminator, played by Greg Grunberg, and Latino security guard, played by Lombardo Boyar, must save the day when a giant spider escapes from a military lab and rampages the city of Los Angeles.
Directed by Mike Mendez. You might remember, Greg, you said Grunberg. Is it Grunberg or Grunberg?
I'm going with Grunberg.
All right, Grunberg. You might remember him from Heroes. He played that guy that could read people's minds.
Oh, yeah, okay, I know that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like him. I think I follow him on Twitter, maybe. I don't know. I like him. He seems like a good enough guy. This is definitely a low-budget fare. The huge CGI spider. It might be good for a laugh. I believe this is also on video on demand, which is becoming more and more used as a way of distribution. You know, this is something, if you're stuck in a hotel room this weekend, you know, you're not going to be able to watch some major run movies. So you have the choice of maybe Hell Baby, Ass Backwards, or Big Ass Spider. Or maybe all three. Yeah,
and again, this is a good one, you know, going to the Halloween season. Might be a good kind of ludicrous, scary movie for you. It is a PG-13, however. Not an R-rated feature, so this might be good for for the teenagers going on dates.
Right.
It's for sci-fi violence and gore. And it only runs an hour and 20 minutes, and that's just about perfect, right? I wish Machete was only an hour and 20 minutes.
Right. It's got Ray Wise, he's one of those actors that you might not recognize his name, but you would recognize his face right away. A lot of times he plays an odd bad guy, and here he plays Major Braxton Tanner. You'd recognize him. Trust me. Trust me on that. And Lynn Shay plays Wheezy, it appears.
Well, and the Major Braxton Tanner was actually the grandson of Biff Tanner. So this is actually, I didn't realize it at first, but this is actually a sequel to Back to the Future Part 3.
So there you go. Another reason to see this movie. Big Ass Spider, Back to the Future.
Yeah, and
Back to the Future 4. Big Ass Spider.
Well, it might be 5, but they go back to the future to what happened in 4.
Big Ass Spider Future 4. What do we got coming up next? This sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I like the sound of this. It's called Birth of the Living Dead. In 1968, a young college dropout named George A. Romero directed Night of the Living Dead, a low-budget horror film that shocked the world. Became an icon of the counterculture and spawned a zombie industry worth billions of dollars that continues to this day. Birth of the Living Dead shows how Romero gathered an unlikely team of Pittsburghers. That's funny.
That's funny.
Policemen, ironworkers, teachers, admin, housewives, and even a roller rink owner to shoot a revolutionary guerrilla-style film that went on to become a cinematic landmark.
Kind of like Congo.
Very similar to Congo,
Guerrilla
actually.
style.
Yeah, talking guerrilla style, no less. Offering a profound insight into how our society worked in a singular time in American history. And this was directed by Robert Coons. And I find this interesting. I mean, I remember the original, Night of the Living Dead, and, I'm not a zombie fanatic, but that movie was pretty good.
Well, sure. I mean, it started the whole genre. I mean, you certainly can't ignore it for that reason alone. He was a pioneer in the horror storytelling business, and think of how huge this zombie business is today. It's mega. I mean, look at The Walking Dead zombie show.
I think it might be. It's either one of or it might be the most watched cable program.
Well, now that Breaking Bad is done, what else is there really?
Yeah, that's true.
So you gotta have to watch the Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of the comic book personally. I read the comic book The Walking Dead far before the TV, and it's still being published, by the way. The story is not over.
And not directly related to the TV show either, is it?
Well, it does pay tribute to it. There's a lot of differences. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of disappointed in some of the differences because the comic book is so great and the story is so great that I wish it followed right